Le Bernardin is not only the best French restaurant in America, it's one of the best in the world. And it got 3 Michelin stars, which is the highest rating any restaurant can get. Since the Michelin Guide opened in NYC in 2005, and it still has them to this day, which is an incredible feat. And that's thanks to a team that has dedicated their career to creating a perfect meal, led by French chef Eric Ripert. And if you like food as much as I do, you've probably heard of him. He's the type of chef other chefs look up to. Anthony Bernardin once called him a 4-star demigod in his book, and that's before they met and became friends. I'm French, and over the years I've been lucky enough to eat at a few 1 Michelin-star restaurants, because in France they're actually surprisingly affordable, but I've never been to a 3-star restaurant. And to be honest with you, I've always felt a bit intimidated, like I'm not enough of a food lover or an expert to eat there. Also, since 3-star restaurants have a reputation for being expensive, I've never felt like it was the right time, and I've been waiting for a really special occasion. But since over the past 10 years nothing has felt special enough, I have decided that making this video is as good as an occasion as any. So today we're heading to Le Bernardin with a simple question in mind. What makes a 3-star restaurant so special, and is the experience worth it? Alright, so Bobby, it's also your first time eating at a 3-star restaurant. How do you feel?
I am so excited.
Me too. I'm excited and a tiny bit nervous.
I keep looking at the entrance, just like watching who actually eats here on like a regular-ish basis, you know?
Yeah.
And this place is like insanely famous in New York and in the US as well.
And as we entered, it felt like they were expecting us, even though we were 15 minutes early. And the atmosphere feels both very private and relaxing. With a beautiful giant wave painting and the wood paneling, you don't really feel like you're in New York City. And as requested, we've been given a corner table, which is set in a simple and elegant way. And I know I'm gonna like this place because right away as we sit down, they offer champagne, which is expertly served and introduced by their sommelier. And I have to say that I'm very excited for their wines. Their wine director, Aldo Sam, who is from Austria and not only has the best name you can have if you're a sommelier, but also has been voted best sommelier in the world. And they have a really impressive wine selection with 900 different wines at different price points from 12 different countries.
The chefs have prepared a small menu for you, and if it's okay for you.
Yes, of course.
We could maybe pour a little bit of wine with each of the courses, if that's okay.
That would be great. We will not complain about any wine or food.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So my personal belief is that when you're at such a special restaurant, you need to fully trust the chef and the team and go for one of their tasting menus. Like, you don't go to a place like this to just eat a fancy tuna steak and go back home. You really want to let yourself be immersed in the experience, because all the people who work here are the best at what they do. So everything makes sense and is made for you to enjoy. And today here we're getting the best experience you can get, because not only we're doing the full chef tasting menu, but we're also doing the wine pairing. So this means that for every course there will be a glass of wine that has been specially selected for the occasion. And we'll get into the menus and how much they cost later in the video, but our first food has just arrived. So before the first official course, you're given small bites to begin your meal, and the first one is fish served with radishes, basil, and a ponzu sauce, and this was a wonderful first taste. Then we have poached and smoked salmon rillettes. This one is so creamy and delicious, and I wish I could have that every single day. The third one is a warm fish and potato fritter, and I know it might sound crazy, but I think this would be an ideal movie snack if movie snacks were fancy. And that was a great intro, but our first official course has just arrived. So before we get into it, check out the bread that's served with it. So Bobby, who is fully assimilated into the French culture by now, went with a mini baguette, which I have to say looks nice, but I feel the brioche bread is really where it's at. It's so beautiful, so buttery, and overall such a treat. Also, I want to say that the way we are served is really beautiful. It's like going to a show and everything is perfectly timed out. So in front of us, we have one of their most famous dishes. It has been on the menu for years because people request it time and time again, although the chef says that they don't set out to create signature dishes. So here we have a layer of very thin pounded yellowfin tuna. It is beautifully served in a plate of the same shape on top of some foie gras and a toasted baguette. And when you look at it, it might look pretty simple, but it's actually such a work-intensive dish. They have to pound the tuna by hand in the kitchen to make it so thin that it's silk smooth and almost melts in your mouth. And I can really understand why people love it so much. It's so delicious. And this dish paired perfectly with the Austrian wine we were served.
Do we have to finish the wine?
No, we don't.
Okay, I'll do it anyway.
My goal is to make it alive after, because there's like 9 courses.
There's 9 courses?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. What an experience.
For this next course, We have here a shrimp chow and mushi.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Thinly sliced razor clams from the state of Maine. Gamberoni rosso, or the small red shrimp with the roll from the lobster. Thinly sliced scallions. Now the prawn heads from the Gamberoni rosso you can eat in between bites to impede some texture.
And I'm a member of the Clean Plate Club, so of course I'm gonna eat the shrimp head that goes with it, although I have to admit that I was a bit scared of it at first. Yum. Also, I love how every dish is introduced to give you a bit more context into what you're eating, because I have to say that for this dish, I would have no idea otherwise. And as you can probably tell by now with what we're eating, they specialize in seafood and they are super serious about how they source their ingredients, so everything tastes incredibly fresh. And the Michelin Guide describes their style as based on French technique, but with a global inspiration. And after eating this dish, I have to say that I agree. They have created something that's fully unique, but that as a French person, I recognize as being rooted in French tradition. And this is such a special dish. It's a combination of flavors and textures I've never had before. And the pairing they picked with sake from Japan is really good too. I don't really think I've ever tried such a unique pairing before at a fine dining restaurant, and that is why I love tasting menus. Like, you can relax and trust the chef and the sommelier completely. And you know, even if you don't understand everything that's happening right away, you know there's a reason for it and you're always bound to discover something new. Our next dish was one of the most precise and intricate I've ever tasted. So this is steamed lobster, and it's served with charred cucumber and a fennel mousse, as well as with a lobster citrus broth. This is paired with a wine from the region of Alsace, so right here in France. And I've been really into those wines lately, so this was absolutely perfect.
Well, this is a fascinating dish too. Like, there's so many layers to it.
It's a concert of your mouth.
The broth is so good too.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
Oh yeah.
Yum.
So all in all, this was one of my favorite dishes and pairings I've ever had. It's so creative, it's executed perfectly, and this is well above anything I've ever had at any other restaurant. At this point, this is way more than just a meal. I feel it's a life-changing experience, and one I think I'll remember for a long time. And as you can probably see, one thing that makes 3-star restaurants really different from maybe a 2-star or 1-star restaurant is what happens in the kitchen. And there's one thing that I didn't tell you, but you might have guessed it. Before making this video, I decided to shoot my shot and ask for a kitchen tour and maybe a word with a team member. I never thought that in a million years I was gonna receive an answer, and that this answer would be, you're gonna be able to visit the kitchen and Chef Ripert will be available to talk to you.
Merci, chef. Merci.
On est content de vous avoir, ça
On a
va?
passé un super moment. Merci.
C'est pas fini quand même.
Non, c'est pas fini, mais on est ravis.
So then Chef Ripert introduced us to the whole team, which was so special, and we're also gonna sit down with him after the service is over. But right now we're in the middle of the service, so everyone is working. Also, we got to see the different stations that make the food, including the pastry station, where we got a little peek at our dessert, and I have to say that I'm excited. And by the way, I'm putting the kitchen tour and the whole interview with Eric Ripert on my membership space that you can subscribe to for bonus content. I've recently filmed a ton of additional content that would just not fit on YouTube, so this is the place for it. So if you want to check it out, the link is in the description. So in this kitchen, everything runs super smoothly, and you can tell that everyone is an absolute expert at what they're doing and that they've worked really hard to get there. What's even more impressive and that I was not expecting is how quiet the kitchen is. Everything is so calm, even though we're in the middle of a lunch rush. And we've really felt this chill energy in the rest of our time at Le Bernardin. From the minute we walked in the door, we felt welcome and comfortable. It's something that's really special and that you can't find everywhere. In my opinion, having this type of meal is way more than just the food. It's the feeling that you can trust the experience, enjoy yourself, and let yourself be taken care of by experts, which is something I really value. Anyway, time for our next dish. I believe I'm gonna pick this one for the thumbnail of the video, so you know it's gonna be special. So here we have some slowly baked salmon, topped with a generous serving of Royal Ossetra caviar. The sauce is a horseradish emulsion, and the little colorful bits you see around the dish are beets. Also, something funny happened. We were visited by Aldo Sam, who is the wine director I was telling you about before, and he brought us a second mystery glass.
We gave you a second glass because the best thing in dining is experiencing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a blind tasting.
Yep.
Ooh.
Don't feel pressure.
Okay.
Whatever you will say will be right.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you what it is.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you anything aside of Which one do you like?
Oh, okay.
So if you know me, you know I like a bit of playful energy. So this was a moment I really liked. Also, I love that you're not told what to feel, but that it's more about finding what you like. And obviously we had to try the two glasses extensively and have a little debate. I personally found that the larger glass complemented the kick of the horseradish really well in my opinion, which was something I felt was cool and unexpected in this dish. Anyway, after a lot of talk between us, Aldo Sam came back and he told us that it was the exact same champagne served in two different glasses, which is so crazy to me because I swear there was a real difference in taste between the two glasses. And this was such a fun behind the scenes look at how much work and passion goes into those pairings and how much every single little details matters. For our next dish, we're switching things around with a bit of red wine. This is a Nuit Saint-Georges from the region of Burgundy in France, which is a wine I love, so I was really excited to see what they're gonna pair it with. Also, we were served some more bread, and I went with the olive focaccia, which was an amazing choice. So in front of us, we have lightly grilled hiramasa, which I'm told is also known as yellowtail. There's also zucchini flowers that are stuffed with chanterelle mushrooms, which are also the mushrooms you see on the side, and this is served with a red wine sauce. So I don't know how to explain it, but this dish feels like a comfort food to me. It reminds me of flavors I know and love, and that I've mostly tried in meat-based dishes before. So it's fun to see how well it pairs with fish and how all the parts of this dish work perfectly together to create a rebalanced experience. And as soon as we were done with our course, we were told that Chef Ripert was available to talk to us. So I asked him to hold the mini mic and tell us about what it takes to maintain 3 stars during all this time.
So Michelin came in the US in 2005, got 3 stars right away, and we are in 2025 and we still have 3 stars.
Very impressive.
I think the reason is because we're pushing the envelope all the time, we're questioning ourselves, we're reinventing ourselves permanently. The real reason is that we have a fantastic team, people who are very knowledgeable, very passionate, very dedicated.
Yes.
And that is in a dining room and in a kitchen, and it makes a difference at the end.
This was such a cool conversation. And I also asked him about what he thinks about fine dining feeling out of reach for most people. You know, mostly because it feels too expensive or too fancy. And I loved what he had to say. I'm excited to show you, but first, a bit of context. I'm gonna tell you about the price of our experience and what you get for that. And we're gonna do this over dessert because our first dessert is here, and it's an absolutely beautiful melon sorbet with cantaloupe ribbons and white crunchy meringue on top, which added a nice mix of textures. It is so nice having a really fresh dessert here. To be honest with you, at this point, this meal has been going on for hours, and I was kind of scared of not having enough room for dessert. This is really perfect because I'm getting a second win there. So while fine dining has a reputation for not giving you enough food, I feel this couldn't be further from the truth, and I'm someone who loves to eat and eat a lot. So this is the first of our 4 dessert courses, and it is paired with Jurançon, which is a wine from the southwest of France, not too far away from where I come from. And this is our 7th glass of wine. 8 if you count the 2 glasses of champagne. Obviously, this has been over the course of hours, but I really was trying to pace myself because I'm a lightweight, and I wanted to make sure I enjoyed every single pairing and food. But I can tell you that I did take a little nap when we came back home. So our next dessert course is one of the ones we saw being made in the kitchen. So I was super excited to try it. It's a warm chocolate tart with vanilla ice cream and a beautiful chocolate wafer on top. I'm almost sad to cut into it because it feels like destroying a work of art. And let me tell you, this was such a satisfying dessert, not only because I'm a big chocolate fan, but also because it is a perfect balance of contrast, being both warm and iced, soft and crunchy, sweet and salty, with a little sprinkles of sea salt. Honestly, I wish there was a way to eat this every single day at home because this was unbelievable. The pairing was a port wine, which if you don't know it, is a sweet red wine, and I was afraid I was not gonna like it because I'm usually not a big fan of port, but maybe it was because I hadn't tried the one they served us before because I really liked it. So I was originally planning on trying the lunch menu that's $137, and while that's still not my everyday lunch, considering all the work and skill that goes into it, it's completely worth it to me. Also remember that we are in New York City and things are expensive, and you absolutely can't have a bad meal for that price in the city. So I really understand why Le Bernardin has a reputation for being a good value for money meal in New York City. And since I think this is intentional, I wanted to hear Chef Ripert's thoughts about it.
Fine dining has been created to create an experience very unique for you to be having a great time and a great experience, having fun.
Yes, I often compare it to, for my viewers, as like, people who like going to concerts or who like getting like a special spa day. It's a special thing you're doing for yourself.
For sure. And some people may say, oh, fine dining is so expensive. You actually mentioned concert. If you go to a concert or any game, NBA or baseball or any other sport, the tickets are much more expensive than a meal at Le Bernardin.
Yes, I would rather have a meal at Le Bernardin so many times.
And although I do like the NFL, unfortunately, since Bob is from Chicago, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. So I'd rather spend my money at Le Bernardin. At least it's a guaranteed win. And full disclosure, the restaurant was kind enough to invite us to film at my request. It's usually super hard to film in fine dining restaurants. And they had us try the full chef tasting menu, which would cost $530 with a wine pairing and $350 without it. Considering everything I've seen and tasted today, I think it's really worth it for a special meal. We then ordered a very much needed cup of coffee after all this food, and we were also served one of their secret menu items, which is called the egg, and it gets a lot of hype online. And we didn't order it or anything, but at this point we're just along for the ride and excited to try anything they serve us. So it is an eggshell that has been emptied out and filled with a sweet chocolate custard, some maple syrup, and a pinch of salt, just how I like it. And as you can expect, it's really, really good. Also, the coffee comes with little sweets, so we have a passion fruit and mango macaron, a blueberry almond cookie, which was amazing, and a mini chocolate cake. And looking back on this meal, as we were enjoying our coffee and finishing up our sweets, I really want to say that this was truly a dream come true. The food was really out of this world, the wine pairings were perfect, and the service really tied everything together. This truly felt like more than just good food. It was a full journey with every course being a different adventure. This was one of my favorite videos I made so far, so I really want to thank you for watching it. And if you've enjoyed it, leave me a comment with your thoughts because I'd like to make more like this. And also go watch one of the videos that are on screen. I think you'll like them and I'll see you there.